How you guys doing? I'm here with my Constellar Deck profile. It's been doing me pretty good. Got first place in my last tournament. I'm just going to show it off and give it a quick rundown. Start off with your Constellar engine. You got 3 Sombre. And these are just self-explanatory. 3 Algetti, 3 Pollux, and then 3 Costs. Basic engine for playing Constellars. I've seen people play less. Seen people play a lot of Sheratons. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of Sheraton. It wastes your normal summon. Even if you use it on Pollux or Algetti, you'd have to use it on Pollux, and then you're left with a level 4 and a level 3. And I don't know. I've play tested with it. It doesn't really work for me. And it slows the deck a lot down for me. I got 1 Honest, 1 Thunder King. And these are all my 1-ofs. I've got Bear, and I also play Gorilla. A lot of people play Bear, not Gorilla. I think Gorilla is, I won't say a must. I end up siding them out sometimes. But for those decks that play a lot of back row or just spell and trap heavy decks, he's an instant MST. Or always have a Tinky pretty much, or at least one on the field or one in hand. You know, search them out, summon them, pop a card, or if you got one just sitting on the field, summon them. You know, if you've already used Bear, or if if you play Tinky, you can either set yourself up. You can either go into your monster protection or your spell and trap protection. My personal tech, I play 1 of these. A lot of people don't play these, but you go Algetti into this or Pollux or anything, and mid to late game, or even after the first play, really, if you got a cost in the grave, you can bring it back, or you can bring a Pollux back. You can bring Sombre back and activate its effect, so it's a really good card. Onto the spells and traps. Obviously, you play 3 Tinky. Great card. Searches out all of your Beast Warriors and whatnot. I personally main deck 3 Kaiser Coliseums. Most people only play 2. I mean, when you have it, you open up with 2 level 4s. You get Omega out, protect Omega, and you got a Kaiser Coliseum, or you could go Pleiades, and it's just really difficult for pretty much any deck this format to get around. Also playing 2 Lance just for protection. Only like going into Pleiades if I know I can protect him. Most of the time I find myself going to Omega first. But if I have this in hand, if I have a Lance in hand, then most of the time I'll go Pleiades, just because I know if they do something crazy, I can drop it and protect it. Most people don't even run this at all. If they do, it's only at 1. I'll run 2. After the first play, you're using 2 monsters more than likely, and this is live. Anytime you draw this is good for me. I mean, given you have to skip your battle, the way I play is more of a protection type, anti-meta. So I don't have to attack every time. I just want to make sure I'm controlling my opponent, and this helps me with hand advantage. That's one thing that Constellars can kind of lack at. They don't have a whole lot of draw power, so hand advantage is a huge thing. And personal tech, I main deck 2 Prohibitions. People think I'm crazy. It is one of the best cards in the format right now. People don't play it for reasons because you have to be intelligent to play it. You have to call what you know your opponent's going to need. You have to know the deck you're playing. It's harder. It's harder game 1. That's why people usually side it in. But after the first play, I mean, if your opponent's playing Harpies, you're gonna call Harpy. If Harpy Lady, if they're playing Boojins, you're gonna call Yamato, and I mean, it shuts down their entire deck a lot of the times. 1 Reinforcements, 1 Book of Moon, 1 Dark Hole, and only 1 MST because I do have the Bear and whatnot. I'll show you guys I'll probably show you my side deck. I'm missing a few cards, and I'll show you in a second. Traps, I got my 1-ofs, 1 Solemn Warning, 1 Compulse, 1 Torrential, that's obvious. 2 Fiendish Chains, 2 Trap Stones, because they're great against Harpies, they're great against Mermails, any of those main decks. And then my personal tech, I run 2 Karma Cuts. Why Karma Cut is great. Play Karma Cut against Harpies and whatnot, activate this, remove Harpy from the field. And then all the ones from the graveyard. All those people playing the Pike OTKs and all that stuff, and it just shuts those down. when it comes to machines, them utilizing the graveyard, zombies, you know, hit a zombie master. Zombies can't do a whole lot without zombie master. So it really helps with a lot of the decks out there. I'll do my extra deck first before I do my side deck. Extra deck, I play one of this guy because you are able to make it with cost, and he's a good card. If you're trying to attack for game, you know, you got to go into him, and then you've got a card that does piercing or whatnot. You know, you can go into it, and it does a lot. I got Steel Swarm Roach just for the machine matchups or zombies or anything that special summons a lot of synchro monsters. Especially with Kaiser Coliseum, you get him on the board. Like playing zombies, their zombie masters 1800. They don't have a lot to boost attack, so they have to go into synchro or XYZ, and it helps get around a lot. Cowboy, obvious reasons. 101 Shark. This thing, this card's amazing. If you haven't picked one up, get one. Get one now. It's like a mini Big Eye, you know, take their monster and then you can protect it with it. I like it a lot on this deck because with Big Eye, if I were to use Big Eye, given it be harder to make, with Big Eye, it would put me at 2 monsters again. And I try to most of the time stay at 1 monster, one well-protected monster, just so I can keep Kaiser alive, and it makes it a lot difficult for my opponent to get around. But it's a great card. It makes people scared to go for anything first turn. They go for XYZ first turn, and it's no problem for me to get 2 level 4s out, go to this, and take their XYZ. Or any special summon monster. One Maestro, just for obvious reasons. She's good for protection, playing against Ophion or anything like that. Drop it face down. Not that this deck has a problem with Evil Swarms, but it's a really good out for a lot of things. Star Liege, this is done me some real good. Coming against that OTK, that Harpy Lady OTK, they get me first turn. If I'm able to make the second turn, make this guy drop their attack to 0, attacking for 2,000. When he gets destroyed, you draw a card. So, great card. Tiras, fantastic card. Volcasaurus. I haven't brought this out many times. Most of the time I'll get in Pleiades or something, but you know, if it's late game and you gotta summon it, do some damage and whatnot, that's pretty good. I run Gaia, Thunder King Charger, or Thunder Charger, I'm sorry, because of the fact that he can overlay with M7. A lot of times you can, if you get M7 out and you can't necessarily use his effect that turn, so you can overlay for this and pierce. That's why I was saying I do the combo with this guy a lot. Summon this guy, pop him in defense, overlay for M7, overlay for Gaia Charger, and then attack for 26, or however much defense. A lot of these cards don't have high defenses though, so it's a great card. Also have Praise B, I don't know how to say it, but he is great. This allows me to not have to run Gemnite Pearl to get over Ophion or anything. You just summon this guy. He's got an extra 1,000. It's any Constellar monster, so really versatile. It's done me some good when you're pushing for game and whatnot. He's be at 34. Not a lot of cards can get around that. And then I run 2. I gotta go mixed up. I run 2 Omega and 2 Pleiades. Like I was saying earlier, I think a lot of times I normally go for Omega first just because of the protection. Pleiades, he's great, but I mean, if they dark hole you or you know, some kind of card that, you know, some spell or anything that can really get around it, it's hard, it's devastating. You just wasted your 2 monsters. So I normally get this guy out first, make sure that my Constellar monsters are protected. A lot of times I'll use his materials. I'll have Kaiser on the field. I'll use his materials up. I'll summon him. Use one of my attachments to bounce it back to hand. So I'll have him with 1 attachment and Kaiser on the field. So it keeps Kaiser alive. Well, at least them at 1 monster. If you give him room for 2, then it's just game over. For my extra deck, and this is based on what I play at my locals and whatnot. But I run 2 Deck Lockdown, 2 Maxis, 2 Debunk, 2 Imperial Iron Wall, 1 Soul Drain. There are my other 2 MSTs, because sometimes you do run across Spell and Trap heavy decks. I run 2 Mind Drain. This shuts down Mermails, Agents, anything, Maxis, Veilers, chaos decks, anything that has an effect that activates in the hand, it just completely wrecks them. And I mean, you're paying 1,000, but it's well worth it. It's won me a lot of games. Goes and match. I'm thinking about taking these out for like Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors or something when I get them. Because I haven't had to use them a lot. Most of the decks nowadays, or this format, are focusing on one attribute. You know, Boojans with lights and Constellars with lights and whatnot. So it's not as of a. It doesn't seem like a big necessity. Considering even if you're playing against dragons, a lot of times they're playing mostly lights and they can get around it. So I'm probably going to take this out for Shadow Imprisoning Mirror or something like that. But that's my deck profile. Let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoy it. But that's all. Peace. I'm out.